Hello there, very good evening and welcome to Primetime News on TV1 for the Newsfirst, where the people come first. I'm Martin Satyanesen.
And I'm Thiruni Karnaratna. Here are our headlines for tonight.
Headlines on Newsfirst. Two police teams commence investigations into the death of former IGP C.D. Vikramaratna. Bribery Commission reviews in court that 3 senior police officers also received part of the bribe taken from Harak Qatar. The 3 suspects, including Rakita and Charit, further remanded. CEO of Embassy Networks Private Limited, Buddhi Vikramanayake, named Executive of the Year at 46th Annual Group Review of the Capital Maharaja Group. Petition seeking leave to intervene in Saleh's writ petition to be considered on the 4th of August. CPC says fuel stocks in Sri Lanka are sufficient.
On to those stories in detail. Former Inspector General of Police C.D. Vikramaratna died this morning after sustaining a gunshot injury.
Police spokesperson, Assistant Superintendent of Police F.U. Wootler said that he had shot himself at his residence using his bodyguard's firearm.
Former Inspector General of Police C.D. Vikramaratna resided in Thalahena. This morning, he had asked his security officer to bring him a bottle of water while he was at his residence. Police stated that during this time, the former IGP had shot himself using his security officer's 9mm firearm. Police said that he had sustained the gunshot injury to his chest. The incident had taken place at around 7:15 this morning. The Nugegoda Special Crimes Investigation Division and the Malda Bay Police have commenced investigations into the incident. A magisterial inquiry and a post-mortem examination are scheduled to be conducted into the death. As of this evening, the remains had been placed at the Colombo East Base Hospital in Mullaitiyawa. C.D. Vikramaratna was 63 years old at the time of his death. The 35th Inspector General of Police of Sri Lanka, C.D. Vikramaratna, joined the police service in 1986 as a probationary assistant superintendent of police. He was a graduate of the University of Colombo and the General Sir John Kotalawala Defence University. C.D. Vikramaratna served as the acting Inspector General of Police for more than a year from the 28th of April 2019. He was appointed as the Inspector General of Police on the 28th of November 2020. Following several extensions of service, C.D. Vikramaratna retired from the position of Inspector General of Police on the 27th of November 2023.
Senior Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of the Western Province, Varuna Jayasundara, has been transferred as the Deputy Inspector General in charge of the Police Children and Women Bureau.
Police media spokesperson, Assistant Superintendent of Police F.U. Wootler stated that Senior Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of the Uva Province, Mahesh Senaratna, has been appointed to cover the duties of the SDIG of the Eastern Province. These transfers have been effective since yesterday.
Watch the FIFA World Cup live, where the best football teams in the world compete. Live matches, Rewind TV, highlights, reels. Watch it all for free. Download the Pure mobile app now. Watch the FIFA World Cup live, where the best football teams in the world compete. Live matches, Rewind TV, highlights, reels. Watch it all for free. Download the Pure mobile app now. Watch the FIFA World Cup live. where the best football teams in the world compete. Live matches, Rewind TV, highlights, reels. Watch it all for free. Download the Pure mobile app now.
Former Minister Vijayadasa Rajapaksa's son Rakita Rajapaksa and the former Samagi Janabalabege organizer for the Horana electorate, Charitabe Singha, have been further remanded until the 28th of July.
During the proceedings, the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption informed the Colombo Chief Magistrates Court that another complaint regarding a different bribery incident involving the suspects has been received by the Commission. The bribery case against Rakita Rajapaksa, the son of former Minister Vijayadasa Rajapaksa, Samagi Janabalabege Horana organizer Charitabe Singha, and Varusha Hennadige Arunasri Chaturanga, a former director of Airport and Aviation Services Sri Lanka, was taken up today before Colombo Chief Magistrate Asanga S. Boduragama. The suspects were remanded in connection with a case for allegedly initially requesting a bribe of 500 million rupees, which was later reduced to 300 million rupees. Of which 120 million rupees was allegedly accepted as an advance payment from Madhushika Madhuvanti, the wife of organized criminal Nadun Chintaka Vikramaratna, alias Harakata. The bribe had been demanded to prevent his assassination while held under the detention orders by the Criminal Investigation Department and to tamper with the investigation, including having his detention orders removed and transferring him to another prison other than the Busa High Security Prison. Giving evidence regarding the progress of the investigation, appearing on behalf of the Bribery Commission, Assistant Director Anusha Sambandhan Peruma stated, it has been revealed that several high-ranking police officers also received payouts as part of this bribery transaction.
Your Honour, it has been revealed that 3 police officers also received money during the acceptance of this bribe. Arrangements had been made to provide the bribe money to these police officers through a Buddhist monk. Information regarding that monk has also been revealed. We need to confirm these facts more precisely, Your Honour.
According to previous court orders, the complainant, Madhushika Madhuvanti, the wife of Harakata, also reported facts to the court regarding the information she provided to the Bribery Commission.
Your Honour, according to previous court orders, the complainant, Madhushika Madhuvanti, the wife of Harakata, has provided the Bribery Commission with a video recorded by her containing all the details regarding this incident. Furthermore, she has provided the Bribery Commission with the phone used to discuss the transaction with the second suspect, as well as the recordings of those relevant conversations.
Assistant Director Anusha Sambandhan Peruma also told the court that investigations have revealed that the phone conversation allegedly held between Herbie alias Nirmal Bandara and Charitabe Singha while in India regarding which statements were given to the Bribery Commission is true. President's Counsel Neville Abiratna, appearing for Charitabe Singha, requested the court to release the suspect on acceptable bail conditions.
Your Honour, this complaint is an anonymous one. Furthermore, there must be case evidence in a bribery case. There should also have been an arrest during the exchange of the bribe money. None of that happened in this incident. My client is a heart patient. He is a sick person who has been taking medication for that, but he has not received those medications for days while in prison. This is a situation that could harm his life. Therefore, I request that the suspect be released on bail under suitable conditions, Your Honour.
President's Counsel Nalinda Indatissa, appearing for Rakita Rajapaksa, requested that the court consider the facts and impose suitable bail, stating that the suspect suffers from sleep apnea and could face a life risk due to that.
Your Honour, my client has submitted a written affidavit to the court regarding obtaining bail. On the 28th of last month, I informed the court that my client is a patient suffering from sleep apnea. Even doctors have clearly stated that his oxygen level drops to a low level at night. That means, Your Honour, the oxygen level drops and the carbon dioxide level rises to a high level. The machine needed for this sleep apnea disease is not available in prison. My client uses a machine that sends oxygen to the body as treatment for his condition at home. He also finds it very difficult to sleep. At some point, breathing could even stop. If proper treatment is not received, important organs in his body, such as his heart and brain, could become inactive without his knowledge. He has not influenced or threatened anyone regarding the investigation. Therefore, I request that the court consider the facts and impose suitable bail.
Attorney Geet Karunaratna requested bail from the court for Varusha Hennatige Arunasri Chaturanga, who served as Director of Airport and Aviation Services, Sri Lanka.
Your Honour, it was said that this money was brought to Sri Lanka via the Undial system. There has been no further revelation in today's report as to how the money was brought to Sri Lanka via the Undial system. Furthermore, there is also a possibility of loss of life to them by keeping the suspects in remand custody. Considering the risk to life specifically, I request that the suspect be released on bail.
Having considered these facts, the Chief Magistrate further remanded the three suspects until the 20th of July and ordered the bail order to be announced on that day.
The Court of Appeal today fixed the 4th of August to consider the intervention petitions filed seeking permission to intervene and present submissions in the petition filed by former State Intelligence Service Director Suresh Saleh, challenging his arrest and detention by the Criminal Investigation Department.
Venerable Bengamu Nalakatera, His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit and 6 other parties have filed these intervention petitions. The President of the Court of Appeal, Justice Rohantabe Surya, stated that the requests made by the intervening petitioners would be considered after the conclusion of submissions by President's Counsel Sanjeev Vijayawardena, who is appearing for the petitioner. Accordingly, with the consent of the attorneys representing the intervening petitioners, the Court of Appeal bench fixed the 4th of August and the 6th of August for the consideration of the relevant petitions.
Watch the FIFA World Cup live, where the best football teams in the world compete. Live matches, Rewind TV, highlights, reels. Watch it all for free. Download the Pure mobile app now. Watch the FIFA World Cup live, where the best football teams in the world compete. Live matches, Rewind TV, highlights, reels. Watch it all for free. Download the Pure mobile app now. Watch the FIFA World Cup live, where the best football teams in the world compete. Live matches, Rewind TV, highlights, reels. Watch it all for free. Download the Pure mobile app now.
The 46th annual convention of the Capital Maharaja Group was held this evening at Stein Studios in Ratmalana.
At the event, Buddhi Vikramanayake, Chief Executive Officer of NBC Networks Private Limited, was honoured with the prestigious Executive of the Year award in recognition of his outstanding leadership and contributions.
The 46th annual convention of the Capital Maharaja Group commenced this evening at Stein Studios in Ratmalana. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya graced the occasion as the chief guest. The event was attended by Capital Maharaja Group Chairman Sashi Rajamahendran, along with senior management, executives and a distinguished gathering of special invitees. The grand annual celebration is held to recognize and appreciate the exceptional contributions of the group's executive leadership. The Capital Maharaja Group, through its wide network of companies across various sectors, continues to serve the people of Sri Lanka with a deep sense of purpose and responsibility. Chairman of the Capital Maharaja Group, Sashi Rajamahendran, addressed the annual convention.
That achievement is never really the story. Leadership is. Leadership is rarely tested when circumstances are easy. It is tested when the path ahead becomes uncertain. Looking back on the year that has passed, I think we can all agree it was another year that tested all of us. As we reflect on the past year, we also reflect on a country continuing its journey towards renewed confidence. Then came Cyclone Ditwa. Conflict in the Middle East, fresh uncertainty, yet Sri Lanka continued to move forward. That progress belongs to many. Government providing continuity, the central bank preserving stability, our banking partners continuing to support enterprise. Cyclone Ditwa reminded us of something else. when disaster strikes, people do not simply look for information. They look for institutions they trust. For many years, CMG has accepted that responsibility. This year, through the generosity of the Sri Lankan public, relief reached affected communities by land, sea, and air for the first time in our history. In moments of national need, there are no competing agendas. There are simply people who need help. This year, we also had the privilege of helping bring people together in different ways. Through the Walk of Peace, led by Venerable Paniakara Thero, Sri Lanka was able to show the world a side of itself defined by unity and hope. It was a moment we can all be proud of. People sometimes ask me, what has enabled this group to endure for almost 100 years? And the answer has never been our buildings, or our brands, or even our balance sheet. It has always been our people. In 1983, the group lost many things, but it did not lose its people. They stood beside the group, and the group stood beside them. And that spirit of defiance shaped everything that followed. In just 4 years, we will celebrate 100 years of the Capital Maharaja Group. Our responsibility is not simply to preserve what we have inherited, but to hand it over wiser and more capable than it was when it came to us. That is true of our businesses, it is true of our country, and it is true of every leader in this room.
Chief Operating Officer and Group Director of the Capital Maharaja Group, S.C. Virasekara, addressed the group's annual convention.
10 years from now, what will matter more? The title you carried or the trust you built? For me, the answer is simple. It is trust. Because titles may open doors, but trust is what keeps those doors open long after titles are forgotten. Tonight, we celebrate outstanding achievements. But behind every achievement lies something even more valuable. I believe it is trust. People do not follow leaders because of titles. They follow leaders they believe in. Trust is the invisible asset behind every one of them. Pressure does not create leaders. Pressure reveals leaders. It reveals our attitude, our discipline, our character, and ultimately whether people can trust us. Products can be copied. Technology can be replicated. Strategies can be imitated. But trust is different. Trust cannot be bought. It cannot be demanded. It cannot be inherited. It must be earned every single day. So from this moment on, let us ask ourselves one simple question. Whose trust will I earn from today? Because every conversation is an opportunity to build trust. Every decision is an opportunity to build trust. Every promise we keep is an opportunity to build trust. If we answer that question well, success will not simply follow us. It will follow the reputation we build together.
5 executives from companies under the Capital Maharaja Group Limited were also recognized for their outstanding contributions this year. Those recognized were Wajira Anthony from Harcross, Sri Lanka, Chandimadira Singha from Cavilton, Janaka Kirindigoda from the Information, Communication and Technology Division of the Capital Maharaja Group, Sudesh Rajapaksa from ICL Brands Private Limited, Sudesh Nandanayaka from Harrison's Shipping Private Limited. The executives were honored for their exceptional performance and contributions. Speaking at the Capital Maharaja Group's annual convention, Suresh Srinivasan, CEO of the Capital Maharaja Group, expressed his views on the challenging year that has passed.
When I joined CMG, the chairman told me to prepare for a wild ride. I must admit, I didn't imagine it to be this wild. From Cyclone Ditwa to geopolitical tensions in West Asia, and from economic uncertainty to market disruption, it has certainly been an eventful journey. Yet, through every challenge, one truth has stood out clearly. Deepening my admiration for this country, its people, and this group. The extraordinary resilience of Sri Lankans. Time and again, Sri Lankans have shown the courage to endure, the strength to recover, and the determination to keep moving forward. I have come to realize that Sri Lankans don't shy away from challenges. They confront them. they overcome them and find a way forward. That, in many ways, is the true meaning of resilience. The year gone by was marked by improving global economic conditions and easing inflation. Yet, geopolitical tensions in West Asia reminded us how interconnected the world has become. Against this backdrop, Sri Lanka's progress has been really encouraging. Our sincere thanks to banking partners, regulators, suppliers, customers, and business associates for their unwavering trust and partnership. Your confidence in CMG has been invaluable throughout our journey. As we honor our legacy and build our future, let us continue to challenge one another, support one another, and succeed together. Truly, hats off to this wonderful team for delivering an outstanding year despite all the challenges. You continue to inspire me and each other every day. Let's move forward with pride, purpose, and confidence as one team, one group, one force.
These are the views expressed by Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya, who attended the 46th Annual Convention of the Capital Maharaja Group as the chief guest.
I also felt that the journey of the Capital Maharaja Group in many ways paralleled the growth of and the development of our nation. These were two young men who started out almost at the cusp of independence and then saw this company grow and evolve through all the changes that our country went through and had to deal with the challenges that we as a country have faced over our last 75 years as well. And yet you survived. Not only did you survive, but you triumphed through that challenge and you grew even bigger. You survived the tsunami, you survived Ditwa, you survived the economic crisis, multiple political crises. So pretty much like Sri Lanka and its citizens, you have survived. And I think that is what makes any company special, and this is what makes this evening really worthy of celebration, because it shows, in many ways, it has mirrored the spirit and the resilience of our country, and you have survived, and you have endured, and you have triumphed. I think in these years to come, your motto is going to become really even more meaningful, because we are living through times that will test us, test our resilience, test our endurance, and test our spirit in ways that we have not encountered or experienced before. As a country that is also looking at democracy, looking at conditions that actually create real democracy, and not a democracy where everyone is able to participate, where everyone feels included, the media is going to play a huge role in that. But that would require us to think about democracy in different ways, and not just about what is what is or is not in our constitution, and not just think in terms of a very limited legal framework about what democracy actually means for people. For far too long in this country, we only talked about democracy during times of elections, and we thought that democracy was limited to people going and casting their vote. And once people casted their vote, they did not matter. We want a democracy where people matter after elections, where people continue to participate in decision-making after elections, where politicians are held to account after elections. That is the kind of democracy we want. Not a democracy or not a system where elite politicians with power and privilege feel that they call the shots and people only matter only till they cast their vote and not thereafter. And we expect and we want a media that can promote those kinds of ideas, that can promote that kind of participatory, real representative democracy.
5 nominees were shortlisted for the Executive of the Year award. They were Chandimata Korala, Naomi Nalavansha, Buddhi Vikramanayaka, Samantha Alvis, and Kalpani Somapala. Among them, Buddhi Vikramanayaka of MBC Networks Private Limited, a subsidiary of the Capital Maharaj Group, was named the Executive of the Year for 2025.
Buddhi Vikramanayaka!
Those who have won this award and those who are dreaming to win this award exactly know how hard it is to get here. This is not just an award or a title. I've been dreaming for this for a long time, so as everyone have that dream. So I would say it's a years of pain, struggle, resilience, and fostering teamwork every day. So I'm really proud to stand here today as the winner of Best Executive for this year. I always believe that true leadership doesn't build on a easy, smooth, shallow environment. That's what we were talking about all this time. It is forged by surviving in the deep end and turning every failure into a stepping stone for growth. With this success, I have a huge team behind. That is my MBC team. This award is for you. This represents your hard work, dedication.
The FIFA World Cup 2026 is down to its final showdown. Reigning champions Argentina will face Spain this 20th July at the New Jersey Stadium. For fans in Sri Lanka, we are bringing the action to you.
Join us at Golf is Green for a live giant screen broadcast featuring a pre-match concert with Bhati and Shantush, flashback and more. If you're watching from home, catch every moment live on Sirasa TV and TV1. Steven Machado tells us more from the Football Corner.
The 2026 FIFA World Cup final is less than 3 days away. On one side, the defending champions Argentina, led by Lionel Messi. On the other side, the Spain national team. Argentina booked their place in the final after defeating Hurricanes England in yesterday's second semi-final, while Spain sealed their spot with a victory over Kylian Mbappe's France in the first semi-final. The FIFA World Cup final between Argentina and Spain kicks off at 12:30 a.m. on the 20th of July at the New Jersey Stadium in New York. The third place playoff between France and England will be held the day after tomorrow at 2:30 a.m. Also, we have something very special to remind you of. We have provided sports fans the opportunity to watch the final match between Spain and Argentina on the giant screen at the Golf Ace Green in Colombo. Before the match, a musical show featuring the Flashback Band and many popular singers is scheduled to be held. Many popular artists including Bhati and Santosh, Kanchana Anuradhi and Dinesh Gamage will be participating in it. So, we invite all of you sports fans to come to the Golf Ace Green, come and experience this spectacular event we have organized just for you for the World Cup final. For those of you who cannot come to the Golf Ace Green, you can watch the World Cup from home. Sri Lankan football fans can watch both matches live on Sirasa TV and TV1, the licensed broadcasters in Sri Lanka for the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
(162 MOH divisions have been designated as high-risk zone for dengue. The total number of dengue-related deaths reported across the island currently stands at 50. The total number of cases has increased to 73,455.
The number of dengue cases reported in the country within the last 24 hours is 1,025. The highest number of patients continues to be reported from the Gampaha and Colombo districts. Within the first 15 days of this month alone, 17,051 dengue patients have been reported.
Additionally, patients are also being reported from Mathura and Gaul in the southern province, Ratnapura and Kegaul in Sabaragamuwa, the Kandy district in the central province, and to some extent Puttalam and Kurunegala in the Uva province. Given this situation, special dengue control programs are being carried out. Starting yesterday, we have once again partnered with the Red Cross organization and their volunteers to conduct this program across 11 districts and 63 medical officer of health officers.
Weather first.
It is now time to take a look at the weather report for the day.
Krishan Devsagar has the details.
Thank you, Martin and Theruni. Well, the Met Department has issued an advisory for strong winds over several regions of the island. Now, according to the department, strong winds of around 40 to 50 kilometers per hour can be expected at times over the northern, north central, central and northwestern provinces. Now, the department also says that strong winds can blow across the districts of Hambantota and Trincomalee due to the active southwest monsoonal condition. Now, with regard to rain, the Met Department says that a few showers may occur in the western, Sabaragamuwa, northwestern provinces as well as in the Kandy, Nuwara, Gaul and Mathura districts. It adds that mainly dry weather will prevail over the other areas of the island. Now, looking at the seas around the island, the Met Department says that the seas off the coasts extending from Chilau to Kankasanture via Puttalam and from Gaul to Potuville via Hambantota will be rough at times. It added that the seas off the coasts extending from Trincomalee to Kankasanture as well may be fairly rough at times.
Weather first.
Media spokesperson for former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, attorney Manoj Gamage, says that Namal Rajapaksa is unofficially carrying out the role of the leader of opposition. Meanwhile, SJB Trade Union Operations Chief Niroshan Paduka responded to the allegations levelled against the conduct of the leader of the opposition.
Who is most suitable to lead opposition politics?
සමග ජන බලවේගයට තමයි පාර්ලිමේන්තුව තුල.
Although the Samagi Jana Balavege holds the majority of opposition seats in parliament, we do not have the ability to invite Namal Rajapaksa to assume the position of leader of the opposition unless the majority of the opposition supports such a move. However, I believe that Namal Rajapaksa is already unofficially carrying out the role of the leader of the opposition. The people of this country can see that. The leader of the opposition does not speak out fearlessly against the government or boldly challenge its actions. It is Namal Rajapaksa who is doing that. The leader of the opposition usually responds to these issues in an evasive manner. Even during this week, when Parliament is not in session, Sajid Premadasa was at the Suryavav area in Hambantota yesterday. We carry out the responsibilities of the opposition according to our own agenda, objectives and goals. We are the next alternative for this country. We know that we are preparing to take power in the future. We are not here merely to remain in the opposition. That is the difference between us and other parties. We are focused on gaining power in the future and we are working on developing the programs required to achieve that. They too have been in Parliament for years, and after the country went bankrupt, they also need to rise again and make their presence felt.
The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation says there are currently no concerns regarding the country's fuel reserves amid the situation in the Middle East. At present, the monthly average increase is around $12 and 38 cents for diesel and only $1 and 93 cents for petrol. We do not see any situation at this stage that would require a special revision, meaning a significant change in prices. Even though the war has broken out this time, there has been no disruption to the supply chain. Therefore, what we are currently witnessing is only fluctuations in prices. The special feature of the tenders we call for is that suppliers participate in these tenders by taking into account the prevailing circumstances of the
war and making their assumptions accordingly. Therefore, at this point, there is no significant impact on the supply chain. However, if there is a change in global market price indices, that impact will be felt. We have opened opportunities for many countries to participate in the tenders. Accordingly, we obtain fuel from the company that offers the lowest price. The agreement we had with Russia was also similar. We registered 2 Russian companies as suppliers. There are no concerns whatsoever regarding fuel reserves. The only issue we are monitoring is whether global market prices will increase. That is the only concern at this stage. However, the QR system has to be maintained. The supply of fuel has some impact on our foreign exchange reserves. At present, this is being managed very effectively with proper controls in place.
Watch the FIFA World Cup live, where the best football teams in the world compete. Live matches, Rewind TV, highlights, reels. Watch it all for free. Download the Pure mobile app now. Watch the FIFA World Cup live, where the best football teams in the world compete. Live matches, Rewind TV, highlights, reels. Watch it all for free. Download the Pure mobile app now.
Welcome back. Tomorrow is Nelson Mandela International Day. An environmental conservation initiative was held today to honor his enduring legacy and commitment to service.
In commemoration of Nelson Mandela International Day, which falls tomorrow, the 18th of July, an environmental conservation initiative was held today to honor his enduring legacy and commitment to service. Under the theme, "It's Still in Our Hands to Combat Poverty and Inequity," the commemoration program was held at Crow Island Beach in Matakulia. The opening ceremony and welcome was followed by the cleaning of the coastal line, which happened for 67 minutes in memory of the 67 years of Nelson Mandela's services to the public.
Various communities have gathered here today to mark Nelson Mandela International Day through meaningful environmental service. Now, this program, organized by the Clean Ocean Force, together with the South African High Commission in Colombo, brings together volunteers to promote cleaner coastlines while also honoring Nelson Mandela's enduring legacy of community leadership and service. I'm Swaliza Ariana reporting to you from Newsfirst.
The event was organized by the Clean Ocean Force together with the South African High Commission in Colombo.
The reason we chose the beach is that water is life, and this is where we get our food. It connects the people from one country to the other. We need to educate the youth, we need to educate the community to clean the ocean, to keep the ocean alive, because we get so much from the ocean. We want people to unite for this legacy of Nelson Mandela, so that we teach people how to unite, how to work with each other, and how to keep the society very clean.
The uniqueness of this is we have got many communities, public sector, the private sector, the governmental agencies, and most importantly, the diplomatic missions and embassies together. So this is a sign of partnerships, sign of a great force being driven towards future generations, because we all believe that our beautiful beaches and oceans are a gift for Sri Lanka, and we are an island nation, and if we lose on our beaches, we lose on our beautiful tourism and the blue economy. So this is why we are here today, and we thank all the volunteers.
Mandela Day is an occasion for all to take action and inspire change. The declaration affirms Mandela Day as a global call to action, encouraging people everywhere to take responsibility for building more just and equitable societies.
The memoir of the 9th Commander of the Sri Lanka Air Force, Air Chief Marshal Oliver Ranasinghe, was launched in Colombo.
The memoir, titled To Survive as One Nation, One People, which captures Air Chief Marshal Oliver Ranasinghe's illustrious 3-decade military career, was launched in Colombo. The event was attended by top military leadership, including Marshal of the Air Force Roshan Gunatilaka and current Air Force Commander Air Marshal Bandu Edirisinghe.
Actually, I am very bad at writing, but the only thing is I did the book. Because of that, even the younger generation, for them to learn. The war that they are going to face is not what we faced in 1994 or 95 or something like that. It's quite different. My son knows because he has done artificial intelligence, machine learning, and then all those things. People will ask why I wrote and all that type of thing, this type of thing. It is simply because I thought the younger generation should know. And even recruiting to the Air Force as pilots, because we were short, we had not done it properly. I'm not criticizing anyone, but only thing, during my time I started getting every 6 months and training them, not only in Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan, Australia, Malaysia, and Sri Lanka. So there must be some forward-thinking people. I know there are a lot of generals and admirals here. Hopefully that they will put all their heads together and do something for the future. So that is why I wrote this. To survive as one nation, one people, we don't know who the enemy is, but we must be ready. We must imagine, we must have an imaginary enemy behind the door so that we will start preparing. If we don't prepare, what happened in 71 and what happened in LTT time will happen to us again.
The event highlighted Rana Singha's progression from Sergeant Pilot to Air Force Commander. The book details critical operations, notably his 1985 mission to airlift 250 troops from the Jaffna Fort and his role in modernizing the force. Beyond military accounts, the book presents his personal reflections on the nation's future, centered on the challenge of maintaining unity.
Sri Lanka's first and only international theatre festival is set to return for its 12th edition, starting on the 22nd of August. The announcement was made during a press conference held in Colombo yesterday.
A press conference announcing the Colombo International Theatre Festival 2026, the longest-running international theatre festival in Sri Lanka, was held in Colombo yesterday. Held continuously for over 15 years, the festival is being organised for the 12th time and will commence on the 22nd of August this year. The festival will feature a diverse lineup of programs, including the recognition of 2 international and local theatre practitioners, the final round of 30 selected theatrical productions, and workshops conducted by renowned international theatre artists.
This year, we will be hosting theatre artists from 14 countries, and there will be more than 50 artists altogether performing at Elphinstone Theatre from 22nd to 27th. The highlight of this festival, as the tradition goes, as we have used to do for the last 15 years, in this 12th year, we will be felicitating a great theatre veteran of Sri Lanka, that is none other than Mr. Jeremy De Silva. This has 3 parallel festivals. One is in Chilau and other 2 is Assam, Guwahati in India. Now Sri Lanka is becoming a cultural hub in the South Asian region. We are trying to going beyond the theatrical boundaries. We are in pursuit of the cultural diplomacy.
In addition, 4 local theatre productions will make their international premieres at the festival, marking their debut on the global stage.
A technical workshop on battery energy storage systems was held in Colombo, focusing on the role of the safe and standardized storage solutions in building a resilient and secure power grid.
A technical workshop on battery energy storage systems was held in Colombo yesterday, focusing on advancing sustainable energy solutions. Held under the theme Towards a Resilient and Secure Grid, Building a Sustainable Energy Future Through Safe and Standardized Battery Energy Storage Systems, the workshop brought together experts and stakeholders in the energy sector. Chairman of the Sri Lanka Sustainable Energy Authority, Professor T.W. M.J. Bandara, and Director of the Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka, Engineer Amila Rajapaksa, attended the event among other dignitaries. Professor Asanka Rodrigo delivered the keynote address on powering a safer future, while several other industry experts also participated in discussions focused on advancing safe, reliable and sustainable energy solutions.
Shifting our attention to international news. The US is carrying out major strikes on Iran for the 6th night in a row.
Officials in southern Iran's Bandar Abbas report that civilian infrastructure, including power facilities, an airport and a train station have been hit. Krishan Devasagayam has more.
Thank you, Theruni and Martin. Once again, Well, Iran retaliated against the United States and Israeli targets and allies in the Gulf after President Donald Trump vowed to strike Iranian bridges and power plants in order to compel Tehran to resume negotiations to end the conflict that started on the 28th of February with the United States and Israeli attacks. Now, Iran has accused the US of hitting civilian infrastructure in the latest wave of airstrikes since peace talks collapsed. Now, the US Central Command, or CENTCOM, stated that the attacks were meant to further degrade Iranian military capabilities, but did not provide a list of targets. The United States has been conducting airstrikes against Iranian sites for the past 6 nights.
Iran state media reported US missiles struck close to the island of Qeshm near the strait, as well as in Bandar Abbas and Bushehr, the site of a nuclear power plant. In an apparent escalation, it also said 2 bridges in Hormozgan province had been hit. CENTCOM did not mention bridges in its list of the dozens of Iranian military targets it hit in the latest round of strikes, which ended in the early hours of today. Meanwhile, in a statement shared on X, Qatar's Ministry of Defense said its armed forces continue to counter a number of aerial attacks targeting the country. Earlier, the Defense Ministry said Qatari forces intercepted missile attacks, while the Interior Ministry confirmed that 1 child was injured due to falling shrapnel resulting from interception operations. The developments came after the US launched a new wave of offensive strikes against Iran. On another front, the Iranian army says it targeted US military deployment sites and logistical support centers in Kuwait with drones. Kuwait said earlier it was responding to missile and drone attacks a day after the Gulf nation faced aerial attacks from Iran. Oil prices have continued to climb after another night of attacks from both the US and Iran. Oil prices rose today after attacks on Qatar and Kuwait overnight. Brent crude futures, the international benchmark, advanced about 3% to trade at $86.73 per barrel. Meanwhile, US West Texas Intermediate futures gained 3.3% to trade at $81.53. A tanker was hit by a projectile off the coast of Oman, causing minor damage, according to the United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations Centre. Iran has repeatedly attacked tankers over the past week as it tries to force civilian ships to transit the Strait of Hormuz through its waters. The escalating fighting comes as the fragile truce reached last month has collapsed, once again disrupting energy flows through the strategically vital Strait of Hormuz, which typically handles around 20% of the world's oil traffic.
And from the conflict in the Middle East, we now cross over to the United Kingdom, where Andy Burnham has been appointed as the new leader of the Labour Party, taking over from Sir Keir Starmer after winning the support of the party's MPs. It means he will soon become the UK's Prime Minister, which is the 7th in the last 10 years. Andy Burnham became Labour leader today, but he will not become Prime Minister until Monday, which is 3 days from now. The process on Monday will begin with Sir Keir Starmer meeting King Charles to formally offer his resignation as Prime Minister. The King will then meet Burnham soon afterwards, when he will ask him to form a government. Once Burnham has accepted, he will officially become the UK's newest Prime Minister.
Legendary former West Indies all-rounder Sir Garfield Sobers, regarded as one of the greatest cricketers of all time, has died aged 89. Sobers played 93 tests between 1954 and 1974, scoring 8,032 runs and took 235 wickets. Sobers, who also played county cricket for Nottinghamshire, was knighted for his services to cricket in 1975. He was also named one of Wisden's 5 cricketers of the 20th century.
And that's a wrap of Primetime News for tonight.
Thank you for watching.
Good night.
Good night.